All right. Ah!
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
I should probably retweet your tweet too.
Lame YouTubey things that I do. Where it's like, hi, I'm here. Faye,
Come say hello.
No, I didn't. I did not. Is it? Girl, hold. Please hold. Hi, Fixie.
I wonder why I didn't see the link on your homepage today.
She got it. Hold on. I'm a jackass. It's because, like, I'm a jackass.
It happens.
It's because, like, I'm a jack. It's because for once in my life, I was like ahead of it. Like, I had the thumbnails made.
Right.
I had everything going, and then I was like, I'm not smart. Like,
I think we're live now.
Yeah, now we're live. No wonder I couldn't find it. Thank you, Faye. I'm looking for you right now because I'm adding you in here. That was the other reason I was like, I'm such a nerd.
Oh, hi. I'm wearing a Linkin Park shirt. I think I might cut your beat with nerd.
I am currently wearing my I hated everything before it was mainstream shirt. And it's like so tattered. It's like hella tattered, but I'm like, no, I love this.
I used to have a t-shirt from Threadless. Do you remember seeing Threadless t-shirts?
Yes.
I had one that said I listen to bands that don't even exist yet. Like in like 2008 or something when I was in college.
So you're one of those where you're like, listen, I'm way cooler than you're ever gonna be.
See, so like the comment that I got on my YouTube video today when someone's like, you seem like not like the other girls. And I was like, not anymore. But when I was in college, yeah, I was, because I was an insufferable person.
I think everybody was like that, though. I don't think that that's like a new thing.
No.
Hold on.
Hello, people in chat.
Hi, everybody.
Larry, Cecily, Heather, Legal and Lipstick. I recognize some of these names.
Yeah.
Hey, Unorthodox Gemini, also Gemini.
She's one of my, like, I love her. She's magic. If it's she, but I think it's she. I always ask, like, I feel like I have to ask people now because I'm like terrible at that whole party, like by remembering who's who. That's all.
Right.
Because I'm always like, unless I really know you. And then I'm like, yeah, that's what's happening here.
Hi, Pfeffy. Pfeffy.
Oh, Pfeffy's here. Hi, my love. All right. Did I fix it, y'all?
You're live, so.
I'm like, I'm like, my apologies. Here,
it's Friday.
Figure out. Okay, that's fine.
It is Friday.
It is Friday. Like, here's the thing. When you don't work and it's Friday, it's somehow worse because like every day is the same day. So I'm always sitting here just like, and it was like, yay, thank God it's Friday. And I'm like, I guess like
you're like, every day is the same to me.
Yeah, like it's all Friday. Okay, here we go. Now I can do the thing. I fixed it, I think.
There was like a month when I was working from home where every day pretty much felt the same.
Did you wear clothes, or did you not wear clothes?
I didn't wear pants. I mean, but it was the winter time, so like it was kind of cold. I didn't wear like, the only pants I wore were like sweatpants. Like
I'm wearing exclusively skirts, and that is, oh, there it is. That's what I was looking for. I'm so sorry, Faye. I needed to do that to you. There we go. Ooh. That was a fun sound. I was very excited.
It was my phone ringing.
I was like, that was fun. Listen. With ADD people, ADHD people like that, I was like, oh, fun noise.
It was just my boyfriend. He always calls me around this time of day.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. He's been going into work.
Okay. Feffy, every day is like, could be a weekday, could be the weekend. Do we even know anymore? I don't. And it's weird to actually think about the fact that like in the US, apparently the decision has been, we're just going to live with COVID. We're not going to do anything. We're just going to live with it. We're not going to do anything intelligent. We're just like, eh.
It's like, I mean, I'm always thankful. I mean, like we live in different areas. I'm very thankful for our governor who's been very like proactive about stuff.
Yeah.
And he's my governor Jay Inslee is such a sassy bitch sometimes. He'll post things on Facebook or on Twitter and just like sass the president. And I'm like, oh my God, I love you, you freaking nerd. He's such a dork. Dork.
See, the thing is, I'm in Texas, and it's Texas, and it's not great here. It's all right, it's a state. It's a state that a lot of people live in. It's a state that honestly it should be blue because of everything. Yeah, and it's not just
gerrymandering. Yeah.
Yes, it's not even just that. It's that like the very things that keep Texas mostly recession proof, and like not recession proof, but like where it doesn't hit nearly as hard here and they bounce back easier is all the businesses that are here and all the tax breaks that they get to come. Free land. But like,
yeah.
But those very things are what liberal people hear. So like they would have been in California or Vermont, I guess. I don't know about Vermont. I went there one time and I was like, I want to live here because it was very, very, very progressive, the town that I was in. But at the same time, I was like, this might be too progressive for me and that I won't fit in. Like they were super progressive. I was like, I love this, but I'm also not prepared.
Yeah, there was a college where I went to college. I actually ended up going to a Catholic university for the first year of college because they gave me a bomb discount, scholarship, not discount, it's scholarships. That's what they're called. They gave me a scholarship. And after that, I ended up going to a satellite campus of the University of Washington. But there was a school that a lot of my friends went to near where I first went to college called Evergreen. And it's like the biggest hippie school. Like they were like, oh, we have like waterless toilets and like flush with air because they were like conserving water. And it was like in the woods. I did a short film.
How do you?
I don't know. I think they only had water for number 2, but
I'm very concerned.
I entered a film festival, like a 72-hour film festival, where you had to you got a prompt, you had to write it, you had to shoot it, you had to edit it in 3 days. And we went to the screening and there was a bunch of students from Evergreen. And one of the films, it was literally just a girl walking around Olympia, which is like our state capital, but it's very like kind of grungy. Walking around Olympia, no dialogue, with one of those little cups that you can like pee standing.
Oh no.
Just peeing on things. The entire short film was just peeing on stuff with like weird soundtrack. And I was like, I don't know if this school is right for me.
Yeah, so, I wouldn't have been prepared for that because like, okay.
It was so weird.
I know that you can use this cup but I'm like, no, I'm good. I'll just take my pants off. I'm fine. And now I wear skirts all the time. So it's like, I will just lift my skirt.
Like camping, it would make sense. But yeah, the school. And then they had like a band that played at the end of this screening, which is another good example of how hippie this town was. There's a band called the Tasteful Nudes, and it was all dudes. And so I remember because it was like a small, like local band, and I made the stupid mistake, or good mistake, depending on how you looked at it. I was like Googling them after the fact. So I just got a bunch of Tasteful Nudes in my Google results, but not the band.
Yeah, I made the mistake once. We were like doing some kind of meme back and forth with somebody. I can't remember why. And I made the mistake of Googling naughty Care Bears because what I was looking for were Care Bears like flipping people off. And what I got was Care Bears with dicks.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I didn't even know this was a thing. And my feelings are hurt that you were ruining this.
Oh, of course it's a thing. Everything. There's porn of everything. That's, what is it, Rule 34? I think it's like, if it exists, there is porn of it.
Listen, Tubi, which is like a free movie, like free TV type thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's even softcore porn. It's like midcore porn. Midcore. Because you do see pumping. I keep leaving because I leave the TV on for Bo.
Mm-hmm.
I keep leaving and I come back and I'm just like, why? And the thing that's weird for me is that it's very specifically Black people porn. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it's Black people in this porn. And I'm like, why am I watching mid-core porn? Like, Bo, what's happening?
On this free TV app thing.
Yes, it's so weird. I didn't even know that it existed. It just started because it like plays. It just like because it plays like it's TV, so it like it has commercials and whatnot. So it'll just keep going to the next movie and the next movie. So like I keep waking up from naps and shit. I'm just like, oh my god. So I had to start putting it back on IMDb if I'm gonna take a nap because I don't like waking up to weird porn. Like it's strange.
Yeah, I seem to remember like at least with Showtime back when I was a kid, we had on-demand Comcast digital cable. And Showtime used to have like at like 1 a.m, a lot of those like softcore movies. And like I would fall asleep and wake up just like, that's a butt. Like, and they wouldn't show like anything with the softcore stuff, but it was very blatantly like, this is
midcore because I saw man ass and extreme pumping action. So I was like, all right, I wasn't. Okay. It's also like, watch I do not like A Clockwork Orange now. Every time when I was drunk in college, which was all the time, I would come home and be like, because I have to go to sleep with the TV on, I would come home and be like, I'm gonna turn on the TV. Literally every time I turned it on, A Clockwork Orange was on. And it was on in the exact same spot. And I was like, absolutely not. And I feel like the goddess is telling me something. So I'm done. Like,
I've actually never seen that movie.
It is
I've heard it's intense.
It's very intense. It's very nihilistic. Like nothing matters.
I have a coworker who dressed up as what's the main character's name?
I don't ever remember his name because I just remember Rodney McDowell paid him.
Yeah, dressed up as the main dude with like the eye makeup and the hat and stuff. My coworker, is
he okay?
He's fine. He's fine.
It's like
we bicker, but like,
I know we used to all call it Skinamax back in the day. Like,
yeah.
Because was it them or HBO that had Red Shoe Diaries? I don't know. You might be too young for that.
I don't know if I remember that one, but I do remember Real Sex.
Yeah, Real Sex was on there.
That was HBO.
And then there was like this women's channel. I don't remember what it was, but it used to have Talk Sex with Sue, and that old broad was the best.
Ooh, my roommates and I watched her in college.
She was amazing.
Catholic school.
Nobody could face her. She had to be like 60 years old. And they would be talking about like, no demonetization, but like, no, they would be talking about backdoor love. And they'd be like, how do I do this? And she's like, first you got to get the lube. And you're like, wow. Like,
just matter of fact, just straight to the point. Yeah. It was like me and my college roommates at Catholic school. We watched that like every Sunday night. Like half of my friends would go to mass and then we'd come back and watch that.
See, here's the thing. I am not surprised because virtually all people that I know that went to Catholic school and or are Catholic, y'all are interesting folk. I'm the dirty folk, to be honest.
I'm not Catholic, but I was raised Lutheran, so like the lazy, the Catholic rebels, we rebelled from Catholicism. My sister knows a whole lot about Martin Luther, like a lot, and like he's a very interesting person. Like he was a very interesting character, but yeah. So I. What?
He was chronically constipated.
You hear that?
Self-loathing.
He was a self-loathing, chronically constipated what?
Lawyer turned monk.
Lawyer turned monk.
Oh, see, that's why I was concerned about your toilets because I have the opposite problem with my gastrointestinal problems due to endometriosis. And so when you were talking about the air toilets, I was like, I would be uncomfortable, but also would not be able to not go.
Yeah, I don't know how they did everything. And then they also didn't have majors at that school. It's like you basically got to pick your major. And I was like, I need structure.
I don't. That would have been for me. That would have been, that's the school I should have gone to. They're like, what do you want to major in? I'm like, the science of everything, bitches. Like,
yeah, it was like you basically got to like pick your major, but they oddly had a lot of people that went to that school for like biology and like biochemistry and stuff. So a lot of science folks went to that school, but
yeah,
it was a neat place to visit for sure. And it's where like where I went to school, and near there, Sleater Kinney, the band, that was where they practiced, where their practice space was and where they were kind of based, because there's a street in that town called Sleater Kinney. So fun fact.
Oh, I did not know. See, so I want to tell you this because one, I'm super weird and I like to make things as weird as possible. So the reason that I knew, I was like, we have to become friends, is because you said that you hate musicals. And I was like, I love you so much, because when I tell you that I was watching the show Glee, and at multiple points I would be like, this show would be so great if they weren't always singing. This show is literally called Glee, and I'm annoyed by this. I'm
By
like,
the Glee Club.
Are they breaking into song again? Ugh. Like,
yeah, both my sister and I, we don't like musicals, and it's always been like a constant kind of like thing with like me and Nisa and Hannah and Lacey, because they love musicals.
I enjoy them. The only time I enjoyed them was when I was in London. And well, one, I didn't enjoy Starlight Express. That is a hard, like Peter Griffin's impersonation of it on Family Guy is spot on. They're just riding around screaming Starlight Express. It's horrifying. And then the other one was I Saw Cats. I didn't get to see all of Cats because I was correct in assuming that when like the main actor was in fact drunk and they fell off of a scaffolding.
Oh my God.
And we all thought it was part of the show. And then they just stop everything and we're sitting there and then they're like, ladies and gentlemen, the show is now over. Please collect your things and exit. And I was like, so like, how the fuck does this end? I don't know how Cats ends. Like,
I don't either. I mean, I feel like I would enjoy it more now, like seeing it live, like seeing it in a theater, than watching it on a movie. But the one time I did actually go see musicals was in New York City in like 8th grade. We did like every year the 8th grade class people would take a trip there, and it was very weird. It was like a year and a half after 9/11, and like it was still a big hole in the ground. But so we went to go see Hairspray, and the guy who played Link Larkin was Mr. Schuster from Glee.
oh,
Yeah,
did
so
he
he was
date that little monster girl. What was her name? Leah Michelle. He dated her.
Did he? I don't know, but he was in that originally, and then I mean the newer movie with Zac Efron did not nearly do it justice, because John Travolta as the mom was terrifying.
Yeah, I need them to stop remaking things horrifyingly, because I already feel that the Craft remake, like I'm gonna watch it because I'm that bitch, but like I feel it. Like I'm like, this is real like Gossip Girl feel, and I like Gossip Girl, but not as the Craft.
Yeah, but yeah, Hairspray was fun. Then we saw Phantom of the Opera. I think I fell asleep.
Of course you did, because
I think I fell asleep.
boring.
And then we also went to a Knicks game, and they did not great.
This is like you going to sports. Listen, I went and I saw Lion King. I saw Lion King live. I don't know how I got to go. Somebody had tickets. I feel like this was when I was in Los Angeles. I feel like it was. And I was like, it's all right. Like, I don't know. I just don't enjoy all of the music. Like, it's just too much. I get tired. I get tired of them singing.
I can do it on like a case by case basis if they're not taking it seriously. Like with Hairspray, all the kind of songs are more kind of tongue in cheek and fun and self-aware. And then like I feel like I would probably enjoy the Book of Mormon because it's like entirely satire. So something like that, when like you're already in a suspension of disbelief because it's like a ridiculous satire. And like with cartoon musicals I could do too, because it's like, again, suspension of disbelief. But just like seeing adults just like walking on a street and then randomly start singing, like, why?
You mean like West Side Story?
or or Rent, like,
Oh my God, I hate Rent.
Oh my God.
Fury. I hate Rent so much. Like, you know that scene in Clue where she's like, fire, flames. Like, that's how I feel about Rent. I hate it. And I had to listen to for years in high school, all the theater nerds, of which I was one, but they just kept singing Rent. And I was like, I hate you, stop.
It's like, there's other musicals. If you're gonna sing, there's other ones.
Like every time they're like 5,000, I'm like, shh.
I don't like Rent either. I can appreciate what it did, and I can appreciate it for what it is, but I'm just like, it's not my thing. Like,
yeah, no. it just isn't. Like, I do, unpopular opinion, like Grease too, because I feel that they knew what they were doing. I like feel like they very much knew that this was like a pile of shit, and it's a good pile of shit. Cool writer, like that's a great song. Like she's just like, she spells it out, bitch. She's like, I need a COOLRIDER. Like, come on, you cannot tell me that the people who wrote this didn't know it was trash. And for that reason, I love it.
Yeah, self-awareness is always key. Like,
yeah. So like, there's literally no way that they did not know that like spelling out cool writer. And she does it multiple times. Like,
I don't think I actually ever saw that one, but my sister's best friend unironically loves it. And the first one.
It's fantastic. Like, I don't like it. It's weird because I hate Grease, like regular Grease, but I love Grease too. I think it's Maxwell Caulfield. He looks very good. And then Michelle Pfeiffer as Stephanie. Like, and she was so, I don't know why. She is so Jersey, because there's this part where this girl goes, this is how long I watched this movie back to back as a child. So there's this part where this girl's like, from the front, this is a perfect nose. From the side, this nose does not belong on this face. And then Stephanie Zanoni goes, so dump the face and keep the nose.
Michelle Pfeiffer say, I just like seeing that in my head.
Yeah. It's one of those scenes where I always love that. So dump the face and keep the nose. And she'd chewed her gum in this very particular way. I was like, I love it. Like, and Adrian Zemed is in it.
Oh.
He plays like Johnny. I'm like, Johnny.
Some name, probably there was somebody named Johnny at some point.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's name is. Oh, wait. When I saw Mamma Mia when I was a kid, no one explained to me what a musical was. That's killer. Like,
that's funny. Well, when my sister and my mom and I went to go see Into the Woods, the trailer did not do it justice at explaining that it was a musical. And because we don't have like pre-existing knowledge of Sondheim, we walked into it and we're like, oh, cool, it's going to be like James Corden, Emily Blunt, and Meryl Streep. Hell yeah. And then they start singing and we're like, literally, we all looked at each other. We're like, fuck, this is a musical. Damn it. And we like walked out of it just like, that was terrible. Like, that was bad.
Yeah, that's
like,
why I hated flash mobs. That's why. I'm like, see, y'all are bringing this musical shit to real life and I don't want it here. Like,
yeah, I got into it one time with somebody on Facebook who like, she was going on about musicals and I was like, yeah, I don't like musicals. She's like, but you like music. How do you not like musicals? And I was like, it's very different.
It is, because look, I even watched that like Metallica musical. It was fucking weird. Okay. Metallica had like a, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like there's a live show, but like there's also other stuff. It's weird. It wasn't like Michael Jackson's. Like Michael Jackson have you ever seen that musical one where he's like,
no, but I vaguely remember it.
Oh my gosh. Like, let me see. Okay. Let me see the Metallica musical. It's called something like it's not just Metallica. It's called something particular because they made like it's a whole movie. And I can't remember what it's called. And it's super weird. It was a very strange thing that I happened to catch. And I was like, what am I watching and why did they make this? Like, I just thought it was so weird. And it was
Well,
like, I don't.
I just Googled Metallica musical and I was like, that's not helpful because it's just going to
It
give me
isn't.
about their music.
It does not. I'm like, Metallica movie?
Oh,
Like,
maybe.
Through the Never.
Oh.
Through the Never. That is really weird. I don't
Yeah.
understand anything that happened in it. And it ends with a show. That's all I
All right.
I tried to watch it.
I like watching concerts on video, like
I do.
wonderfully filmed stuff. Like my dad had, I think he had the DVD, and I know he had like the audio, like the actual CD of Peter Gabriel's Secret World Tour.
Oh, nice.
That we listened to all the time as kids, like all the time. It was like Sledgehammer, and then we listened to like Annie Lennox, and like my mom had the Lilith Fair soundtrack.
There was a soundtrack.
I mean, it was basically it was a compilation of like all the bands that played at Lilith Fair, and so it was just a lot of angry '90s ladies. Just a lot of angry '90s ladies.
I grew up with Phil Collins, Luther Vandross, Michael Bolton, okay, and Patti LaBelle.
I don't think we ever listened to Michael Bolton.
Listen, Michael Bolton was the shit.
Michael Bolton
was amazing.
Yeah, we had Kenny G. Kenny G is from here, though. Kenny G is from Seattle.
Kenny G's interesting with his locks. He was like way into it. He'd be like, and his like greasy like hair would be
stringy curls.
It's like stringy Jerry curl. Like I was like, bro, what's happening over there? It always fucked me up because I was like, is he okay? And I would just be like, all right, it is what it is. Like I don't know what to say. But I guess Through the Never, and then if you have not seen the Michael Jackson one, it's super weird. It is a strange, like, it doesn't really make sense.
Okay.
At all, like, because it's not a linear story. Like, it's Moonwalker. Okay.
Okay.
If you haven't seen Moonwalker, this is what you need to know to want to watch this. And all of you in this live stream, and those of you watching on the replay, Michael Jackson becomes a giant robot. Okay. There's a giant Michael Jackson robot in this, saving the children.
All righty.
Yeah, and there's like the white guy who always plays like the bad guy in virtually every movie he's in. Like he has like I think it's like Michael Ironside, maybe. I think Michael Ironside's in it, and he plays the bad guy in this. And I'm looking now because now I'm like, wait, does he?
Oh, this was from '88.
Yeah, it's Joe Pesci. It's Joe Pesci.
Oh,
that plays the bad guy.
Sean Lennon is in it? Okay.
Yeah, I'm telling you. This
as a child? Wow.
This is intense. It is the weirdest, but also you can't look away from it. It is so strange. And like, I used to watch this movie all the time as a child. And then one time I saw it as an adult and I was like, this is crap. I'm still watching it. Like I couldn't. Like, I don't know why, but there's something super compelling. Like when Michael Jackson turned into a robot to save the child, I was like, I don't even know. Okay. Like,
we'll have to watch that. We were, as far as movies, we were raised on, it was like Goonies.
Mm-hmm.
So all the John Hughes movies.
Yes.
And then 90s movies like That Thing You Do. That was like the only musical, but it was just like songs in a movie.
That's literally the only one I did not watch. And I still will watch. Like I see bits and pieces of it. I'm like, I hate it. And I don't know why I hate it. I just do. Yeah, I think it's because it's completely unrelatable to me. But also, so it was Can't Hardly Wait. But like I was more angsty. So that fit my thing. And like Empire Records is like always going to be one of my favorite. Because there's very few people that get it when you're like, what's with today?
Damn the man, save the empire.
I know.
Oh, I loved it. Well, and I don't know if you saw that I was going on about the fact that Ethan Embry himself from Empire Falls I never understand why. It has to be because my friend Kylie was in a movie with Ethan back in like 2007.
Hey, girl.
And yeah, that has to be it. But like he responded to one of my tweets the other day. Like I responded to one of his tweets and then he responded back and I was just like, my head's gonna explode. Like it was wild.
I saw Ethan Embry in the Beverly Center one time when I lived in Los Angeles. I saw him only briefly, but here's the thing: he was coming up the escalator, and I was going down, and this. So I only saw that it was Ethan Embry for like a split second because I was so hungry that he turned into a chicken leg. So like, I wish I was kidding, but I was like, oh, so and then my friend behind was like, that was Ethan Embry. I'm like, I missed it because I used to like love him. Like he was so earnest, but now he plays with like a lot of creeps, and that's okay. But like, yeah, it's just creepy. Like now it's changed. Like it's not his fault, but like,
right. Like he's not like the kind of dorky, dreamy boy from the 90s anymore.
Yes. Because like you can't hardly wait. And he was just like, oh, I love her so much, Amanda. And then like, I will forever be grossed out by the fact that her cousin.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like men. Why are you?
Seriously. Yeah. Well, and then I was like thinking about all of that one day. And then when I was creating my Twilight characters on Sims, I remember that I was like, oh yeah, Peter Fasinelli, who plays Carlisle, was also in Can't Hardly Wait. He was Mike Dexter. Like my brain, that's just what I just connect movie dots all the time.
Yeah, and Jerry O'Connell was in that too. It was like the older jock. And you know who else was in it? The guy who was in How I Met Your Mother. The main character of the couple with Allison Hannigan.
Jason
Segel. There we go. Yeah, he was in that too. There's like a shit ton of people in it. Like Charlie Korsma. Was it Charlie Korsma? Was that his name? He's like the super nerd.
Yep. And he was in Hook.
Yes, he was so cute. I love me a nerdy boy. I'm like, oh, look at you and all your nerd goodness. Bring it to me. No, just kidding. They're not prepared for me. That's the problem. I'm like, I love you, nerd. And they're like, I like you too. And I'm like, I'm super aggressive. And they're like, I don't know how I feel about that. Like,
I don't know what to do.
I know. I'm like, I can't. Like, I try very hard. I used to try to be demure, but I'm over it now. I'm just like, listen, I'm a witch and I might destroy your life, but like, come into the party. It's fine until I don't like you.
I had to turn into a bit more assertive and aggressive after I went from working retail pretty much with all women, and now where I work with all men who are mostly older than me.
And it's not that I hate women. I can't work with them because I don't want to do like virtually any of the things. They're like, hey, do you want to go to lunch? I'm like, no.
You're like, I don't want small talk. I just I
take a nap during lunch, so like, so sorry.
I worked at Lush and Hot Topic, so like Hot Topic. I mean, my boss was a dude, but like everybody else I worked with,
it's a pterodactyl screech is part of the LGG fam. Yes, because I've done like a weird thing about not Vinny and. I finally broke character when I was telling them about like how to escape a date. And I finally broke the character when I was like, you put your hands at the base of your neck and then you go, and then as soon as I like hissed, I was fucking done. I just randomly create characters on the live stream and use them.
There you go. How long did you live in LA?
5 years. And I would never go back. I would go to visit, but I wouldn't live. It's a weird joint. I think unless you move there with literally everyone who knows you, how you are now, and keeps you grounded, like you can't, it's very difficult to stay grounded because you get surrounded by a lot of people who are
not
bougie. Like, yeah, they're just not. And everything becomes about shit and stuff.
Yeah.
instead of like how good a person is. So it gets weird. And like when I moved back to Texas, it took a good year before I wasn't a bitch. So like I was rude. I would go to the mall and be like, oh my God, are these people wearing this outside of their house? Gross. Like
you're like, no, I'm in Texas now.
Yeah. I was like greatly upset by people's choice of it. And I'm like, ugh, oh my God. Are they driving a Honda? Ugh. Like I was that person and I didn't like it. And I'm so glad that changed for me because I was like, I'm a bitch. And that's why I'm always like, yeah, people are going to change. Like leave them alone. They should.
I've been in Washington forever. Seattle only for like 5 years though. 5? Almost 6 now. It'll be 6. Oh my God. Is it 6? I can't keep track of days and years.
I know, but like, but it's nice there. Like it's nice there. Like I like all the scenery. Like I'm not a woodsy person. Let me just immediately say, just first due to horror and being Black, both of these things have told me that I should not go hiking. I don't need to do any of that. I don't need to go camping. I don't need to get into the woods. Like this is fine. Like I'm just going to quite literally be next to the woods, but I'm not going into them. Right by it, take a picture, and then like, let's go. I'm not getting murdered in the woods by a man who wants to wear my face.
Yeah. I don't camp much unless I'm going to a festival, but that's not happening right now.
I know my feelings are so hurt by that because here's the thing. It's like I'm pretty introverted and like the good thing about this is that like I can talk to all kinds of people and like never be in the same space. So it makes me super happy. I'm like, this like is so great for my introverted soul. Yeah. But like there's 2 things that I would always do willingly and like enjoy the community was go see shows and go to the bar by myself randomly. Like I can go to the bar by myself randomly right now, which I do. I do it here because I'm in a very small town and all of the businesses directly like within walking distance are like family owned businesses. Yeah. So I go there because I know that they need people to come in and absolutely. You know, all the people who work there need that money. So I go, but everything else is like, just don't look at me or touch me. Like
trust me, if I didn't live in the city, my sister and we would probably be living slightly less like tight. we'd be a little more relaxed if we lived in a small town, but in the city it's just like you can't trust anyone like ever. Oh, no. But a lot of places have been doing like there's a bar that we would go to as Irish pub that started putting together like cocktail kits where you could just like buy it and take it and just like drink on the street.
Yeah, they deliver booze now. Like Uber is like, hey, have you tried our new alcohol feature? And I'm like, I haven't, but like I order from this pizza joint and I always get, so I because of my dietary issues and my stomach issues, I order the same thing everywhere. Like if I go to this place and I find a thing and I eat it and it doesn't upset my stomach, I will always order this thing. So I order the exact same meal every time. And then I'm like, yeah, also give me one of those the sangaritas. Sangarita. And they're like, okay. So they bring it to you and it's like they have the beer and then they have the actual sangria part and then you mix it together. And I have this like random takeout tub for soup and I just pour it all in there because it's like the tall one for like the large soup. So I just pour it in there. I'm like, this is a good time. Everybody should be doing this. Like I drink, it's not legal for, you know, the weeds here is not legal. And Texas is way harsh with drug charges. Like it's not even, they're not playing.
Yeah. I think my sister was driving through like Nevada once. Is Nevada legal now? I don't know if she could hear me. But when it wasn't legal, they were like driving to go visit a friend and my mom was with them. And I remember my mom had weed and she was like, oh my God, I forgot it's illegal here. Are we going to get in trouble? Like my mom was the one who was scared.
Oh my God. Yes, because, okay, the thing about Texas, if you even got caught with like like that much weed, right? They're going to hit you with intent to sell. Like
Jeez.
they're going to hit you with everything
Oh.
they've got. So it's like, you don't even mess with it. And allegedly, when I have allegedly partaken in the edible world of marijuana's, allegedly,
Mm-hmm.
I make it in brownies, allegedly. And I put them in the freezer, allegedly. And I take them out when I'm having some severe endometriosis problems and warm it up, eat a tiny, tiny corner, melt into the couch. And I don't have cramps and I'm able to eat, which is nice when I could do that. But now I can't because I'm job hunting. So while I'm job hunting, because like I can't take painkillers because I get extremely nauseous during my very lovely period. So empty stomach plus painkillers equals more nausea. And then I'm like, you know what? This is just miserable. So I don't take painkillers at all. And it's excruciating pain.
Oh
And
my
I'm like,
God.
I'm like stooped over at times where I can't even like stand all the way straight. And I'm like, this is great. No, it's fine. It's fine. And everyone's like, are you okay? I'm like, oh, no, I'm great. It's just like, I like to hunch back every so often. Just like, it's a thing I do. Because you're at work doing this and men are just like, are you okay? I'm like, obviously not. But since you're asking, I'm fine.
I'm not so frank with my coworkers when I'm feeling like crap because I am the only girl that works there who's of a menstruating age. I can always like get away. Like I'll write in the morning. It's like, woke up with cramps, coming in late. You guys can't do anything about it. Allegedly, Pfeffy, yes. We never actually make our own. We haven't made our own edibles, but there's lots of shops that we just buy stuff from, and it's hard to find. Sometimes you have to, like, because my sister can't eat gluten because she's celiac, so it's always like if we find brownies, it's like a miracle.
Because brownies are for me, edible wise with sweets, brownies are the best delivery system.
Oh yeah, because
they fat. They're like thick and delicious. And like, cause cookies can be a little.
There needs to have a lot of like chocolate or a lot of flavor.
Yes, you have to have something to downplay like the flavor of the weed. And so
you want to taste like weed.
Yeah, and I don't mess with any of the candy sections of it because like I don't understand why they would give you a gummy bear this big and be like, don't eat too much of it. And you're like, what is too, it's a gummy bear.
Section out a gummy bear.
Yeah. I'm like, why would you why are you mean? Like, are you trying to ruin my life? Like,
funny thing, my dad, like months and months and months ago, before everything started shutting down, my dad, he doesn't partake, but he likes shopping for it. He likes going to the shops and just like asking the bud tenders about it. And because he's such an extrovert and such a dork. So like he'll go and just like shop for Libby and I. And one day he was like, oh, what do you want? They were like visiting. And I was like, oh, there's this like apple, like it's like apple cider kind of soda thing. And they have like different levels of like how much is in it. And normally I'll just get like 10 milligrams and like drink it over the course of an evening and I'm good to go. My dad, for some reason, he ended up talking to a guy who works there who knows me, and he sold him the 100 milligram one bottle of apple cider, like a regular size bottle. And my dad was like, oh yeah, and you could water it down with like LaCroix. Drinking it straight, I had to like take the tiniest sip. I'm like, if I take a gulp, I'm gonna fall asleep for 2 days. Like, and it didn't taste good. It was way too bitter. And because it was 100 milligrams in one bottle of apple cider. And I was like, I think I still have it in my fridge. Like, I think I still haven't finished it.
That's horrible. You're like,
it was so gross.
Yeah, because the first time I partook was in college. I had a brownie. And fun fact, I have a lot of pent-up aggression. And to this day, even when I tell this story to other people, they still don't understand it. Here's what happened. First of all, somebody should have said, you're not supposed to eat an entire brownie, because I wouldn't have eaten an entire brownie. So I think I had a brownie and a half. We're going to move past that point.
Yeah.
This guy kept bothering me. Like the entire time I was high, he just kept bothering me. I vaguely remember going off, but apparently it was like the Hulk. I got like Hulk mad, and I just started screaming at him like I'm high and I am angry, and I'm just going off being like, fuck you, you're an asshole, stop it. And everybody was like, I have never seen anybody so high get so mad. And I was like, I'm special.
that sounds like drunk angry Abby. Like,
yeah.
When I get too high, it hits my, like, I sleep. Like, I sleep if I get too high. But the one time I took a friend of mine who makes her own, and this was like 4.5-ish years ago. I had a different roommate at the time, my friend Sean, who was very well versed in the weed. We had a jar of shake in the freezer. It was disgusting. He was so cheap. But like literally he moved to California and collected unemployment in Washington State and like trimmed weed on a boat in California. Like, he was a ridiculous person. But he wasn't home one day, and our mutual friend had made me a cookie, and she was like, oh, just take like a quarter of it. Okay. So I took a less than a quarter of it, like just a bite. Mm-hmm. And within the hour, my heart rate was so fast. I thought I was going to have a heart attack. Like, I was like, I'm going to die. I'm by myself. I was by myself in this apartment. Nobody else was home. And I'm just like, like, I think I called Libby. I was like, I don't know what's happening. And so Sean got home, thankfully. And I like calmed down a little bit at this point. And I was like, will you just like hang out with me for a while? And so we turned on Mad Max Fury Road. So I was still coming down from being like high as hell.
That's a bad idea.
It actually worked. And then I fell asleep for 2 hours on the couch. And then I woke up and I never had another bite of her cookie ever again. And I told her the next day, and I was like, you made that so strong. I thought I was going to die. So I didn't have edibles for like several years after that, because I was like, nope. But then I finally started like buying ones that were like, that said how much was in it. And so I was like, okay, I can trust this. Okay, cool.
See, I determined fairly quickly that I have a very unusual brain chemistry. Now, I didn't like, not as quickly as I thought I should. But looking back on it, it was around like 26 or so when I was like, I think my brain is weird, because like literally the only things that work on me is going to be booze and edibles, specifically edibles. Because I used to partake in the Molly. It wasn't called Molly back then. It was just called ecstasy. So I 3 tabs of this thing should be balls to the wall like everyone else. And yet here I am going, I am going to fuck with these people. Like, and I had a group of people around me. We were all rolling balls. And I shit you not that I was like, yo, Pokemon is about slavery, y'all. And they were like, what? I'm like, think about it. And they're like, what? I'm like, the Pokemon can only come out when the boy says so. Slaves. And they were like, oh my God, you're right. And I was like, y'all are stupid. Like, so I knew, I was like, this isn't bode well for my drug taking life, which is why I just never like tried a lot of stuff. Cause I was like, I tried a lot of things, but nothing needle. But I was like, my brain I think part of it, I realized later that it's probably my thyroid issue, because I have a hyperthyroid. So it just cycles through the shit too fast for me to like stay in that.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I take it and like, the first 45 minutes, I'm like, well, yeah. And then like after that, I'm like, all right, need more. So I just don't.
Thyroids are weird. I used to have hypo that went along with another autoimmune thing. My sister doesn't have a thyroid. She got it taken out. But yeah, I think the only other substances I've partaken in besides alcohol and weed, I tried mushrooms a couple times. It tastes really bad. It tastes really bad. I've never done
mushroom.
It was just kind of like stronger weed but with like slight hallucinations.
Don't do acid. That is a horrible drug.
I don't know if I would ever want to. I mean, I've been to festivals with people who have done all of the things. I came to the guy once that he said he was on acid and Molly. Those are different, right?
Yeah.
Molly. Okay. Yeah, he was, and then he also
candy flipping.
and then he was like also weed, and then the cherry on top of this freaking cocktail was ketamine. I was like, you're gonna die.
That was so regular. So I used to rave a lot. So if you took ecstasy and you did acid, you were candy flipping. Almost all of these people would also hit the special K, and then they would also be smoking weed. And I was like, that is an intense cocktail. Like, I want to live, and I like that. I did acid one time in a sugar cube. Mistakes were made. First of all, the sugar cube was the mistake. The true mistake was because we were moving out of college. The next day we had to be out of our college dorms.
Oh no.
And I knew that my friends were going to drop. So I was like, yeah, I don't want to be here for that because I'm good and I'm not doing any drugs. Like, yes, I did eat with you guys, like fine, but like I'm past this. So I'm back and I'm packing stuff and they call me and they're like, you've got to come over. I'm like, no. And they're like, you've got to come over. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. We're not going to ask you to do it. Just like come over. I came over. You got to just take one with us. No. You got it. I ate it. I ate the sugar cube. I'm sitting there like, this is so stupid. You guys need any water? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, all right, let me get the water. So I go get water and I'm pouring it out and I have it on the counter. And then I don't know how long it was, but I was sitting there and then I hear them go, Audra, are you bringing us the water? And I was like, it's breathing with me. And that was the good part. Then my friend flipped out. He was having a bad trip. So we had to hog tie him and put him in the tub and feed him milk. I went home and I had to wake up because we've been high for hours. I went home finally and my roommate, I had to wake her up. I was like, Dana. She was like, yeah. And I turned on the shower and I was like, hey. She was like, yeah, what? I'm like, does the water sound normal? She's just like, yeah, because to me, what I heard the water doing was like, ah! And I was
my God.
I am not cool with this. I can't take a shower if it's screaming at me. So then we had shower doors. There were ghosts appearing on the doors as I'm bathing. So I get out and I've got soap all over me. I'm like, I don't care. Like the ghosts aren't getting me. I'm like laying down. And this is why I say I have a unique kind of a brain, because I distinctly remember laying on my couch and this spinning loom would come up from behind my head and spin all this shit on the table. And I was like, I knew right then, I was like, you know what? If I stare at this loom, I don't think I'm coming back. And so I would look around and do other things. And then at that moment, the third time it arrived, my friend called me. She's like, hey, are you still tripping? I was like, yeah. She's like, you want to come over? I'm like, yes. And then that soft, because I knew it. You can feel it at the base of your brain. It's it buzzes back there. It just buzzes. And it's for me, it was uncomfortable. And I was like, this isn't cool. But the fact that it would come up from behind my head and drop onto the coffee table. I'll just be and it'd be spitting this cool ass design and I could hear it. And I was like, don't look at that. And I knew it. I just knew it. I was like, don't look at it. You're going to get stuck. Don't look at it. No, you're going to get stuck. And I kept making sure that I pulled myself out. So I was like, you'll be stuck in here forever. And I knew it. And so I got out of it. And I tried to listen to some of my other music. I tried to listen to like Dave Matthews, and that did not work out. It just came out like, and so 311 is what took me to sleep.
There you go.
I was like, Dave Matthews is kind. What happened?
Oh, Olivia's just running an errand. I was like, she just passed by me, and I was like, what happened?
Like a ghost in the background. Okay, it's spooky season, and you're being ghosty back there.
But when I tried mushrooms, I was at a festival. I'm such a cliche. I was at a festival with my friends, and it was like 1 a.m, and there was like a tapestry hanging from one of the tents, like the kind of outdoor tent things.
Yeah.
And like everything was kind of kicking in. And I'm like getting a little sleepy, and I look at my friends. And I was like, "Hey guys, is it windy out right now?" And they're like, "No." I'm like, okay, well, because it looks like the tapestry is moving a little bit. And they're like, and all my friends who are like way more experienced, they're like, "Oh, look at Abby." Like, yeah, that was a weird festival. It was, I ended up sleeping in a tent with 2 of my guy friends, and then like a tent like adjacent to us, we heard 2 other people going at it.
Oh yeah.
So, I have festival stories. Libby has festival stories. We've been trying to write this. Well, it's an idea that we've had for years called "Where's Alyssa?" The Guide to Surviving Music Festivals. Where's Alyssa?
Listen, like when I go all out partying, when I am like I am not the person to party with if you want to live.
So are you Alyssa in the situation?
Here's what happens. Because I'm an introvert, when I go out and like really party, shit's gonna get wild. It's gonna like you think you're just gonna like hang out, but then like something happens. I always meet the strangest people. Like it'll be like the random person who's like, "Hey, you want to do a bump?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, let's do a bump. Let's go." And you're like, "What?" I'm like, "It's fine. I don't even like cocaine. I have ADHD. It's fine." And like come on. And then next thing we're on this like weird journey. It just all of my like super nights out end up on journeys, and like and nobody knows what happened. Like you go out with me, you end up in a car with Armenians driving you home, and nothing bad happens in the situation. They smoke you out. It should have been a dangerous situation, but when you're with me, you have the goddess as well, so you're okay. Like it's so weird. I've done this. I don't know why it's like this. Like we got mistaken for hookers in LA once, and so we were like out because our friend was supposed to drive us home, and then we couldn't get a hold of her, and so we're on the street in short skirts and a lot of makeup, and being like, "Doesn't anybody give us a ride home?" And then like the police were like, "Hey," and we're like, "We're not hookers. Like we're people trying to get home.
We're hitchhikers." Like that's the word.
I know. So we got in a car with 3 Armenian gentlemen, and they're like, "Hey, you guys want to smoke?" And we're like, "Yeah." This should have been a very dangerous situation for anyone else to get in the car with 3 strange men. But I like to point out that they were Armenians just because like the way that they talked, and they were beautiful men. Oh my God, they were beautiful. And they were just, and they didn't do any of the things. They weren't like, "Oh, can we come up?" Like any of that. They're like, "Here you go." And we were like, "Thanks." And now we're like, "Yeah." We're like high at my apartment. And I was like, "All right, cool beans." Like, "Thanks, guys." It's just like, that's what happens when you go out and do like weird magical shit. Like, I don't know.
I am always usually the one driving. Because for like festivals and like going out, like most of the time when I'm going out, it's like I'm going to a show and then also a bar. I have gear with me. So like, and that's why I haven't ever really like done anything too crazy at festivals, because it's like, if I have like thousands of dollars worth of camera equipment on me, I would get so paranoid. And I was like, I have a job to do. I need to keep this safe, because I'm always there like taking photos actually for something. So I was like, I can't get shwasty completely. And I'm always usually the one driving. But the one time that I got a little too chocolate wasted, a little too tasty, was on my 26th birthday. So like 5 years ago, it was like my first birthday in the city, and I was living, it was a very bad living situation. It was a very toxic living situation with one of my roommates. But I went out to this bar, and the bartender was very cute and very nice, and he like, I didn't have to buy any drinks. Like he basically, because it was like, it's my birthday. But it turns out the bartender was a friend of my cool roommate, so I don't know. But with how big this town is, it is very small.
Yeah.
I had a couple of whiskey gingers, because that's pretty much all I was drinking at the time. I was like, whiskey and ginger ale. I was like, whiskey like gets you sick, and then ginger ale calms your stomach. It balances itself out. Not taking into account the massive amounts of sugar in that thing.
Yeah, that's the problem.
So I had like probably 3 whiskey gingers, maybe 4, probably 4 at this point now that I'm thinking about it. And my friend Andrea, who was probably 22, maybe 21 at the time, so like a bit younger than me. And she ordered a shot of Fireball and a bottle of Angry Orchard. And in my drunken state, I looked at that and I was like, that sounds delicious. So I ordered one too. And it was the worst idea, because like I had it. And then for me, when I get too drunk, which I don't really do anymore, I haven't drank like more than like 5. Like I can count on one hand the number of drinks I've taken during quarantine, which is actually like, I'm proud of myself for that. But when I used to get a little too wasted, it would always hit my stomach much faster than my head. And so like I would be like fully aware. Like I've never blacked out before. So like I've always been aware, and that particular time I was so aware of how much I needed to throw up. So like, I'm going to the bathroom, and I remember there was like a line of people, but I could hear and see the people are like, oh, she should go in front of us. Like we should let her first. And I like went into the bathroom, and I remember feeling so bad, because I was like, it was like my first birthday in the city, and all my friends were being really, really nice. And so I'm just like sitting on the side of the road, just like with a cup, just like with little like silent little spits. And my friend Dave drove me home, and I gave him directions. I was able to direct him home, and it wasn't very far because I had taken the bus.
Daves are so good. Daves are amazing.
Oh, and he owns a pizza place now. Like he's great. A deep dish pizza place in the city, like actual deep dish. But he drove me home, and I was able to direct him to my house. So I was like fully aware of everything happening. And I was able, I think he walked me up the stairs, because I lived on like the 2nd floor, but it was like 3 flights of stairs. And I was hungover the entire next day. But I remember the next day, Dave messaged me on Facebook, or I messaged him, and I was like, thank you for getting me home last night. Thank you so much. And then he responded, he said I had like,
oh no.
No, it's not bad. It's just, he said I had the cutest pukes.
What?
Because they were like tiny and silent. So like I just had a cup, and I would just be like, every so often, just
She's like,
yeah. So he managed to get me home, but he's also a photographer as well. So like that's how I knew him. But you missed a little bit, yes. But he was great. And then actually he let me like stay in like the 2nd bedroom in his condo when I was like without a place to live for a week. And I was like, dude, how do you afford here? And he was like, oh, I bought it 5 years ago. And I was like, screw you, because everything was so expensive. Like he had Amazon money because he worked for Amazon, and then quit.
But I'm confused though. Okay, because in Texas, we drop the Fireball into, like, Texas is a drop it into state. So you get the shot of the Fireball, and you have the Angry Orchard, and you go.
Oh, see, they never pour the bottled things into cups. They just give us the bottles.
What?
Yeah.
Listen, Texas, we like to drop, like, there's a whole ritual to doing shots here. Like, do you do the tap first and then shoot and then tap again?
I don't ever do shots when I'm out, but when I'm with friends, we do that. Yes.
Yeah. So like that's part of the, like you have your 2 things and you tap and then you dunk and then you're, but like, here's the thing. My thyroid is pretty large. So like I can't really swallow like that. And so I've had them do the biopsy of it where they like stick the needle in. You're awake and they don't numb it because the needle to numb it is bigger. So that was the one thing. I was confused about was like how that doesn't happen. The other thing is explain your small silent vomit. Like
it was literally, I was just silent, and it would probably be the same, like, I don't know, it's the kind of
sorry.
Just like very, just because it was all liquid. So it's like there was really nothing else. It was just kind of like a sad little fountain.
I violently vomit, but I'm like you in that I know I'm going to. Like my girlfriend at the time, we went out for her work Christmas party, and I just kept doing all these shots of Patron like I was a bad bitch. Turns out I was not a bad bitch. And so I just go in the bathroom and I'm just like, whoa! Here was the problem. I had to poop.
Oh no.
And I pooped. And as I was finishing the poop, I was like, oh, there's vomit. And so I immediately just turned around. I was like, I do not want to put my face directly in it. So I'm going to back up a little bit. And I was like, oh, and like aimed. I did a pretty good job. And like, and then I like flushed. And then I just like put my head in there. And like, I threw up multiple times. And then once I was finished, I was like, all right, good times. And then I like cleaned everything. I'm a cleaner too. Like I vomit and like I go back in and I clean the toilet seat. Like that's who the fuck I am. And then I like walk back out. And I go out there and I'm like having water and I'm like, all right, everything's cool. And it was like, were you throwing up? I'm like, I was. And like, I'm totally fine. Like at this age now, I get totally fine. But I blacked out one time. And it's because I had baby Guinness shots. Now, have you ever had a baby Guinness shot?
No, I've had Guinness. So I don't know what is that?
It looks like Guinness, but it tastes like a fucking Frappuccino. All right.
Oh.
It's like black tequila and Baileys. And you wouldn't know, but you shoot this shit and you're like, it's so good. I don't even know what's happening. It's like such a good time. I woke up in like diagonal across my bed in my pajamas and my legs were shaved. And I was so confused. I was like, what the fuck happened? Like I literally
shaved your legs.
Because I remember being like, I have got to get the fuck home because that bar was like 10 minutes from my house. I was like, I got to leave now before this shit hits because I felt it coming. I was like, I got to leave before it hits. So I remember like driving and I was listening to music and I remember pulling in, parking. After that, I don't know what happened in between parking my car and waking up diagonal on the bed, fully groomed. Like that's really what I'm fully groomed. Like everything is shaved. I am lotioned. My feet are doing well. I'm like, who the fuck am I when I'm blackout drunk?
Apparently self-care, Audra.
I know. Like apparently when I black out, I'm like, it's time to take care of you. Like
do a face mask. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Peffy. It is delicious and dangerous because if you have
black tequila.
I can't like there's a black tequila and I don't know who makes it, but it is a black tequila and it looks dark. So like they call it a baby Guinness because it looks like Guinness when you have it. It's like this little shot. Yeah. And so it looks like I've only found one place that does it. It's like this local bar. Well, it used to be local to me. Now it's not. But by golly, it tastes like a Frappuccino. It's no problem to kick the bitch back. And you're like, whoa. And the problem was I was a regular at that bar. So people were always buying me shots. And I'm like, please stop it. I don't eat a lot of food, not for any other reason than my body's hateful. And like, I can't stomach all these shots. Like sometimes I'm going to eat all of the food and it's fine. And other times I've barely eaten anything in 3 days. So I'm going to need y'all to back off. Like,
yeah, I don't do shots at bars unless, like, if my friends are buying shots and then they're like, "We're all doing shots," and I was like, "Okay," or we'll do shots like at people's houses. But most of the time, when I would go out, it would be just like gin and tonic.
My personal opinion on buying shots. Hello, you can see my waist.
Gorgeous.
Opinion on shots in bars is that why spend that much money when you can spend a little bit more for a full-size delicious drink that has more alcohol in it? Like, I don't get it.
Libby, it's because they're playing the song Shots.
It's because they're playing the song Shots.
Shot,
why.
shot. As soon as they play that song, everybody loses their shit. And they're like, we gotta get shots. I don't know why we're like sad animals like that. Like that's where like I see why the dodo like died off. I see it now. But like,
Libby also worked at a tequila bar at one point too. So
yeah, because the same thing happened when Fireball came on. Like everybody was suddenly like, oh shit. And like I hate that oh shit culture in a bar, but like I can't help myself from being one of the people who does it. Like I try to be like, oh, these people are still like, oh shit, it's my jam. I'm like, oh god, I'm that person. Who cares? It is what it is now. It is what it is.
yeah, she worked at a tequila bar as a door person.
And a server.
And a server. And a hostess.
And a coat check.
And a coat check.
I've been a bartender and a waitress in a bar. And I hucked a loogie in someone's drink once, but to be fair, I asked them several times not to grab my ass.
Oh, they deserved it.
They continued. And I don't even have an ass. I don't know what they were grabbing. They were just grabbing extra back. So I'm just like, I don't know. Like they just kept like grabbing and smacking it. And so like the last, I was just like, and like just like threw. Yeah.
They deserve it.
Yeah. And that's why I get mad at my mom who's persnickety when she eats. Being like, Mom, can you just like, spit in her food?
Oh yeah, no, I'm like the one time I remember a friend of mine, she had to like send her food back because there was like something like that the food was wrapped in. There was like a piece of wrapper like in the burrito or something. And so we were like, yeah, no, there was like plastic and we're like, you should probably not have plastic in your burrito. But other than that, like I'm very much like I don't want to cause a fuss. I'm just like, yes, thank you.
Yeah, I don't bother anybody, and I think that's why I end up being like the favorite at every bar that I go to because I'm just like, meh. And then they're just like I end up with free drinks because there's this local bar right by me has like 50 craft beers on tap, which is amazing. And so they had these like two, and I was like, hey, you know what would probably taste good? This one and this one. And they're like, oh, you're right. Let me try it. And then they tried, and they're like, you tried. It's good. You were right. I'm like, I know. I'm like, I have taste buds. So, but it's like that's what I do. Like it's just that's how I am. I go a place and I hang out there and I sit in a corner and like nobody, I'm just like, don't touch me. Like, let's not make out or do anything weird. But imagine my fear when they were allowing us back in bars, like some weird guy, like my whole body was like, because I don't even like hugs anyway.
Oh,
and there's a fucking pandemic and this stranger is hugging me. And I'm like, please don't.
Oh God. Oh no.
Like I'm losing my whole shit. I was like, no, I can't deal with this. Why are you touching me? We're not friends. Like, oh, so I was very upset.
I mean, I've gotten like huggier in the last few years because I have some friends who have like very little shame and like the personal boundaries. I mean, like they're not like weird about it, but it's like they don't necessarily have a lot of boundaries with themselves. And so I joined this group of people and I'm like, yeah, I can just get in a pile of humans on one of the like love sack beanbags. Yeah.
Yeah, I get very, I'm like, ugh. Like I am the kind of person who at work, they'll be bringing like big wigs in, like when I worked, and they would like stick their hand out, and I'm a hesitator. I'm like, I'm like trying to force my hand. I'm like, just shake their hand out, just shake their hand, it'll be weird. And they can see it where I'm like, I don't want to touch you. Like, I don't know you. But to be fair, I did grow up in Okinawa, Japan. And you growing up in Asian cultures, like there's space bubbles. And so like to come to this stage where everybody's like in your space, I'm like, please don't back up. Like, why are you so close? So it was weird for me. I was like, And so I always hesitate when people like stick their hand out. Like, hi. I'm like, can we just wave? Let's wave. Like, let's make waving normal. For 2021, let's normalize being like, hi, I'm so-and-so, and do that. Like, I just want to do that now.
Like,
which
no small talk. Yeah.
This is your fault, by the way, this nail obsession I have.
My nail obsession is Lacey's fault. So it's Lacey's fault.
So here's what happened. Emily Hanhan was like, oh, Abby told me about this shop. So I like looked at that shop. I bought nails from that shop. Now I have nails. It's just ridiculous. I get like panicked
right here. I have like these ones I have to do. And then these ones I took off the other day.
I get panicked.
they like turned a little bit purple because I was dyeing my hair. So I
know, I
keep
keep mine.
They were like, well, oh yeah, these ones are expensive ones. These were like from the shop, like it's like got like hollow tips and stuff.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, this was a shop that Jackie Ina mentioned in one of her videos, and I was like, oh, that sounds fun. And they looked very pretty. Called the Nailist, I guess.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I have one that I got from Russia, which was bomb. Like I've been getting a lot of weird stuff. Like my spider back here, like this is from the Ukraine.
Nice.
And so like they have glass spiders, and I was like, bitch, yes. So I have that. The nail obsession is my fault. And then last night when we were DMing, I have to tell you, I did not realize I was a gamer. I really didn't. And the thing was, I pulled out my game because I've been playing like Merge Dragons, right? So I pulled out my games, and then I was like, wait, I'm playing Uncharted. Like I'm sitting here like,
you're like, I am a gamer.
then I was like, oh, I'm playing Borderlands 1 and 2. So it came in Tomb Raider. I realized I was like, I like a lot of first-person shooters. Am I a gamer? Like, because I've been playing games for years. I grew up gaming, and I was like, I should never have become a YouTuber. I should have become a gamer. Like what? Because I like would just. But my PS4 died, and so yeah, like my heart broke because you could play the PS3 games on the PS4. So it was.
See, we haven't had a console. I had one of the what was it? It was not a Game Boy, but it was the little. I don't remember what it was called. It was Nintendo. It was the little Nintendo guy. The little.
Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know. Because I had a Game Boy, and like I remember what you're talking about, though.
Yeah, and then we had a Wii. My mom got a Wii, so we could play Wii Fit and Wii Bowling and Wii Golf. And then all the other dorky Wii games, because my mom was she was like, I want to exercise, so let's buy a game console so I can exercise. And then we had a PlayStation 2. Yes, Alex.
Is that it?
Yes, Nintendo DS. That's what it was. Yeah, but then we had a PlayStation.
I had a Game Gear, Faye. I was that bitch. I had a Game Gear.
Yeah, we did, but PlayStation 2 is pretty much, we played a lot of Dance Dance Revolution, and I think we had some like snowboarding or games or something. I don't remember. But then before that, we like Nintendo 64. Like that was what we grew up playing. And
take it. Sorry.
Josh, my boyfriend, for anybody watching, he has been playing World of Warcraft for like probably half his life at this point. And so I got him to play Phasmophobia with me yesterday, the scary game, the ghost hunting game. And he hates anything scary. Like he hates horror movies. He hates scary games. He was like, Abigail, this is bad. I don't like this. No. And so he was not having it. And so he was like, well, now I played a scary game with you, and now you need to play World of Warcraft with me. And I was like, that is fair. That is fair. And then we were talking about the different classes of people in World of Warcraft. I was like, I know that there's the Horde and the Alliance, and then there's like wizards and
there's wizards.
And so Josh was, he's like, well, there's a mage, and then there's a warlock. And so then this was very late last night. And so I was like, a warlock. I was like, isn't that just like a man witch? Then I said it again. I didn't even realize that I said manwich. Manwich. I didn't even realize that's what I said the first time. Then I said it the second time, and I just crying laughing. Like crying laughing. Because it was super late, and we had been scared a bit in this game because looking for ghosts. So I might play that on the stream tomorrow. Who knows?
Yeah, I think, was there a game called Fear? Because I feel like I played that at one point, and I was like, absolutely not. I played, also I used to play Baldur's Gate back in the day. I was like way into Baldur's Gate, like the first one and the second one. I was super pissed when it wasn't coming back. I was like, you assholes, I've invested my life in this game. Like, I always play an elf of some form. I don't know why.
Josh has never gotten me to play World of Warcraft or anything like it, so I don't really know anything about games. I mean, kind of like that, where it's like really like a lot of characters, a lot of like story involved, a lot of like.
Yeah.
I'm doing Sims right now.
Man, Cage the Elephant became big because of Borderlands.
Really?
Because like the original game, like the Borderlands game had Cage the Elephant. The original song was in there, and it starts the game off, and they're like riding around like, "Wah!" And it's like, right. Like, I love Borderlands because I like chaos, and so it's like a whole chaotic situation, and I'm just I live for a chaotic situation. Like, so I was like having so much fun playing that game. Like, you would just go all over, do all kinds of things, and these people are chaotic and they're weird. It's why I love Baba Yaga lore. Like, I'm like, yes, because like people think that Baba Yaga is like either evil or good, but really she's just like ambivalent. But mostly I feel like she's chaotic. So she just does things that suit her needs, but it's like a very chaotic need. And it's like, all right, well, I'll help you, but like, you're gonna have to give me your second child. And you're like, wait, what? And like at first you're like, why would you want this? Why wouldn't you ask for the first one? It's like, she's chaos. Like, the point is that she knows you're going to try to like, you're gonna end up having a second one. You're gonna forget, and then you're gonna have the second one. She's like, I've come to collect, and you're like, wait, though. And she's like, no negotiations.
I'm looking at chat too. Wait, Alex said, I haven't played Dead by Daylight, but I've heard that I would like it.
I want to play Dead by Daylight so bad. And like, I don't know if my little computer, I got a new laptop. I don't know if it can like handle all the stuff.
Yeah.
Because like
PC games can be hard. It's like something can go wrong like this if the system doesn't like it.
Yeah. I keep almost everything on my little drive. I keep most of the stuff on my drive, but I'm like, so I just don't really want to fuss with it. Although this is going to sound horrific to anybody listening to it, but like, I am the lordess of chaos. And so I do play a game called The Plague, in which I spread a pandemic all over the world and kill it all. So like,
honestly, somebody needs to make that mod in The Sims, and I'll play the heck out of that.
It is so calming. I don't know how to explain it, but like me controlling a disease and destroying the world, it's like, all right, like I feel peaceful. Like
It's good to harness your energy.
Yeah. It's like I'm making my chi happy by doing this. Yeah. I'm harnessing my chi.
One of the mods that I downloaded on Sims is the extreme violence mod.
And all the sexiness. I remember you were putting the pants on. You're like, I'm sorry about what you saw. I'm like, the C&B saw it.
Because I didn't realize it, because I have the streamer mode also installed that basically makes it, when they do anything while you're playing the game, the mosaic still pops up. It still gets pixelated. But I thought that also applied to in Create a Sim, but apparently not. But with the extreme violence mod, it's so funny because all of the ways that they came up with for you to like kill your Sims, there's like one literally called Death from Above, where you like fly up in the air and then like just like they have one where it's suffocate with a diaper, suffocate I think with a grilled cheese. Like, they're so bizarre. It's so weird. But I opened up like a game that I didn't end up saving, and I was like, I'm just gonna see how much I can destroy this guy's life. Like, let's see what happens.
So basically you were God to Demas like you're able.
Yeah. I literally opened up a game that I wasn't going to save anything in. I just clicked a dude in a house, and then I sent him to a park, and then literally everybody that arrived at the park, I'm like, let's see which way I can off you this time. Like, I didn't end up playing. I mean, I got to kill a bunch of townies in The Sims, so that was kind of fun.
I know why you'll have this intense, because here's the thing. When I was in college, I was intensely into The Sims, okay? I would literally spend like all of my time playing The Sims. And I'd be like, no, do this. Why are you not using the bathroom? So
Go pee.
Ooh, Cordery Effects has a new video. I don't know if you know about Cordery Effects, but he does like movie reviews. A lot of them. He's hilarious. If you like movies, Cordery Effects, he cracks me up. Like he's been doing this thing right now where he's talking about like ripoffs of like there's various ripoffs of real series like Paranormal Activity. And so he makes me laugh so hard. And I'm sure, I don't know if you've heard about my random crush on Ryan Hollinger, but like that's a thing.
And
like,
how do you spell Cordery Effects? It's not like Cordery.
It is CORDERYFX.
DERY. Okay.
He's currently live right now, but like I love this dude. He gives me so many laughs. So many laughs. Like I laugh like because he does this one on the Transformers and saying how like the Transformers and the Jurassic Park sound effects could be like interchanged. It would be the same movie, and he's right. And it ruined my life. I was like, no. I used to play.
Then you can't unhear it.
That was the game. So that's what I was looking for. Is I used to play a game called Resistance, where like aliens come and you have to like fight the aliens. And at the time I was married and we would play together, and he would never listen when I yelled grenade, and he always ended up getting blown up. But like, that's not my fault. I was like, grenade. And he was like, stop throwing grenades. I'm like, there's aliens. What do you want? So like, it's hard to play. It's hard to play with somebody who's like, I've got a grenade, I'm throwing it, but I yell grenade. He like literally wasn't listening, like he did the entirety of our marriage. Like, I'm that bitch. I'm so sorry.
I've never been married, so like I don't have any experience.
I don't recommend marriage to the person I was married to. I don't recommend marriage for me. Like, here's the thing. I want to have a relationship, and I don't want you to ever live in my home. And we can live next door to each other, and then we spend time with each other when I want to. Because anything else is like too much. I'm like, oh, are you touching me right now? I'm like, not in the mood for that. Or are you trying to kiss me right now? I'm not in the mood for that. Like, I'm the worst. I feel bad for anyone who actively like, I'm like, I'm so sorry that you're trying to seek out my affections. I think you're making a mistake. I'm like, I'm a fantastic catch, but like, you have to deal with all of these things. Bo, I need you to like chill out, bro.
Is it dog?
Yeah, he's doing his like thing where he does, nothing has to happen. He's just mad that I'm not paying attention to him, as he does. He's kind of a dick. Like, he's bossy. Like, I always think that he was not gonna like, because he's like, he loves people, but also don't hug me in my home, because he was going to try to be a part of the hug, number one, and he's not going to put his like claws on my back. It's your back that's going to get accosted. And pitties have kind of long claws. They just have naturally long claws. And even when I get him like taken care of, they're still long, and they just into your back.
Well, and like cutting nails are like super. Like, I worked at Petco for like 6 months once, where I worked in the grooming salon where I washed dogs and cut their nails, and I got the quick one time, and I was mortified, and I felt so bad, and like in the little doggy nail, and then we had like this powder that you had to put on it to keep it from bleeding. But yeah, I washed many a dog.
See, he gets his like, he's okay, like, no judgment. This is a judgment-free zone. My channel's a judgment-free zone. Bo only gets his nails clipped at the vet, and I take him to get his teeth cleaned. Like, I like brush his teeth, clip his nails, and give him a bath. Like, because my apartment has a stand-up shower. And if I could remove the shower head, it would be fine, but I can't. So I have to take him. So I have to take him to get his bath. And he's such a little people pleaser. Don't shove me. He's such a little people pleaser. And he's so kind. But like, he gets very much where he's like, okay, I'm ready to go home. But I won't let him like I won't take him to any of like Petco or PetSmart to get his
Mhm.
claws because he won't go back if they hurt him. Like I know they
Right.
don't mean to, but he won't
Yeah.
go back.
Yeah, my parents, I mean, I only started like from the time my parents got their current dog, I was cutting her nails like from the beginning. So she's really good with it now because they got them after I worked at Petco. And so I'm like, yeah, we're going to cut these dogs' nails. But like I moved out like 5.5 years ago. And so my mom, she was like, I think we're going to have to get Remy's teeth pulled. And I was like, why? And she's like, and she's like, do we need to brush the dog's teeth? I was like, yeah, Mom, you got to brush your dog's teeth. Like, so she got some teeth pulled recently. And so she's like this little, like, she doesn't have like a full on, like sticking her tongue out. She can't keep her tongue in her mouth, but she had to get some teeth pulled. And yeah, because poor dog.
I won't do it. I won't brush his teeth because I just know, like today he got a special TREAT because I walked out and did my unhealthy habit and I was out for 5 minutes and I left my leftovers in here. And you know what he didn't do? He didn't eat them. He didn't grab them off the counter and destroy them and look sad. And I was like, you were so good, baby. And I was telling him like, oh, you're so good. And so I gave him one because I was like, see, this is what it's like to be a part of the pack. And he's always like, I don't, but he knows. He's just mad because he like wants to cuddle. And now he's just like laying here like the big 85-pound lug he is. I don't think that he's like big, but like I can see how him running at you could be overwhelming or intimidating.
Meaty, like
he's a meaty boy, and I tell him that
Yeah.
when I put on his like harness, I'm like, when did you get so meaty, baby? Because like it's like I have to keep fussing with the straps. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to just keep fussing with the straps or if I have to just get him like a bigger one. He was super sad. Abby, I bought him a shirt.
Oh.
And he was too meaty for the shirt.
Oh no.
And he was very upset about not fitting in the shirt. And I didn't know that dogs could like really be but he looked at me like I was putting it on. I was like, I'm sorry, baby, you're too meaty. And as I was taking it off, he was like, and so I was like, well, let me just put you in I'll just put you in a random t-shirt of mine. And I did. And he was like, all right, cool.
Okay.
So I got to get him clothes, apparently.
We never have dressed our dogs like ever. Good one, Alex.
I loved that. Meteor.
We've never dressed our dogs like, but we had my parents' dog is a Brittany Spaniel. My uncle has a Springer Spaniel, and they look identical sometimes, like in the face.
Weird.
I'm like they're the same coloring. Like the Springer, my uncle Springer is several years older than my parents' Brittany. And when the dog that my parents had before we got our current dog, Remy, she was a Chesapeake Bay Retriever, and she was quite a few years older than the Springer. And so when the Chesapeake, when Millie, when she died, her best friend, my uncle's dog, came over to the house. She hadn't come over to the house at all without any dogs there. So then my mom, because she's had a dog like her whole life, life. And so like when Millie, the Chesapeake, when she died, it was right around Thanksgiving, and they already had another dog by Christmas. like my mom, she was like, maybe I could go for like 6 weeks. No.
I can't imagine life without a dog.
No. So they brought Remy home, and when my uncle brought his dog, the Springer Spaniel, over for the first time, she was like, where is my best friend, and why have you replaced her with this dog that looks just like me but smaller? And so for a good year, she was like very resentful. Like she like would just deal with Remy being like a little pain in the butt puppy, but like you could just see it in her face. She's just like,
oh my God, if I can find it after this live, I will DM it to you because it's like the funniest. This meme of a dog realizing how much it hates this other dog. And it's like That is chef's kiss. Like, yeah, that is where that is. Because I was like, I kept it because I was like, this, I need this for like random giggles. Because, but Bo, he is a sweet boy, and he has no idea that he's 85 pounds.
Oh, that's the thing,
like,
I've heard from other people with pits.
Yeah, they don't know. They have no concept of personal space. Period. And he's only recently started doing this thing that there's nothing I can do about it, because after I shower, I wash my face. Okay, so I'm in my towel. He has started licking my leg after my shower, and there's literally like, I can't. What am I supposed to do? Because I'm like washing my face. I'm just like, oh, please don't do that. That's really weird. And he's just like, well, it's just like 3 licks. And I'm like, but it's still weird. And I just keep washing my face. But like because I got him, and I've told this story before, but I got him, he's a pound pup, but he had a family. And pit bulls, this is a normal thing for the breed, that people get them for status and don't realize that they're A, high energy, but B, latchkey. They want to be everywhere you are, wherever you are. So of course I got rid of him. And so like this year, I got him in 2018, I feel like. Yes.
Oh, okay.
So this year has been our most like cuddly and productive year, where he just really gets that like, I'm his mom. And because when I got him, he bit his tail in anxiety and like all of this. It was horrible. And I would just be like, baby, I'm here for you. He also ate through the floor of my last apartment complex. It was horrible. The floor. I'm not talking about the thing that I'm trying to impress upon you here is he gnawed through like cement. So like, but I still loved him. I got the carpet replaced. I paid for that. And he is just such a little love bug. Like he, exposes his belly to me all the time and like snores, like, and he farts. That's unfortunate. Like last night, I think we were live last night, and I was live with Emily, and he farted twice, and you could hear it through the mic. I was like, y'all, I admit to my farts. I do, but I didn't fart.
Those were dog. Those were
eating my food. I don't fart while I eat. Like that's a rule.
My best friend's sister used to have a pit, and they rescued him, or no, her. It was, I can't remember, because they've had 2 pits. The first one tragically died. His stomach like turned. Is that what the something like inside organs just like turned over?
Oh,
yeah. But when they got him, I guess that's like a thing that like can sometimes happen. It was like the weirdest thing, and it was like out of nowhere. But they had gotten this dog. They'd had this dog for a couple of years before they started having kids, and they like very well trained, like paid him a lot of attention, worked a lot with this dog, and it was a great family dog. But when they got pregnant and they had their kids, my friend's sister, she was like, I was always against docking tails, always against it. She was like, until I had a toddler, because the dog would just whip him in the face.
Yeah, it's actually very dangerous.
Yeah, and so like, and she didn't even realize she was doing it, the dog, and she was just like, but it's like the best lap dog, like took care. There's like videos where she's like running around in their living room and just like dodging the kid because she was so aware of him, of the toddler. But she was like, yeah, I was so against docking tails, and they never did, but there was a lot of flapping in the face.
Bo smacked me in the eye with his tail, and then I found like some underlying like degenerative eye disease that if I didn't do these drops, like I could have been blind. So like I'm thankful for him whapping me in the eye so freaking hard. But like also, wow, y'all could have told me. And honey 2800, this is for you. If you watch Dark Crystal, you know. Have you seen that movie?
I haven't seen the movie, but I watched the TV show when it was on Netflix. I vaguely know what the movie is about.
Yeah, that they make this weird noise. And I kind of was on their side a little bit. Like I'm on Ursula's side. Like Ursula
Yeah.
did good things. Like these people are complainers. Like they were complaining. Like, oh, she's so evil. And I'm like, well, she gave you what you wanted. Like both of you got what you wanted. I don't understand why everybody's mad. Like what? Like you got legs. Eric got a bitch that didn't talk. Like whoopee. Like y'all relationship. Perfect. Go on about your business.
She was misunderstood.
She really was. She just, I mean, why should she give you, like, you can't, she's not a genie. She can't grant all of your wishes at one time. That doesn't make sense. And I think that she was treated poorly. Oh, well, it looks like he has reached his point of like, I'm tired of you, because this is an unscheduled life for him. He's like, I'm tired. Baby boy.
Show me attention.
I know. So one thing I'm going to say, y'all, is Abby's information is in the description box. If you are not subscribed, which I know virtually everybody in LGG is subscribed to you. So please do this thing because I love Abby. I think she's fabulous and fantastic. And also the fountain of youth that you're drinking, like, listen. Welcome to the club.
I literally, my whole family, like my mom has always been like misaged. Like everybody thinks she's younger than she is. My grandpa, everybody thought he was younger than he was.
I feel like your mom looks like she's 32 and she's funny.
She is fun. I don't know if she looks 32, but we also everybody always kind of just blamed it on the jowls that we look younger because we don't have any wrinkles because we have more fat in our face. It's like they're just filled.
Listen, I thought you were like 24, and then you were like, "No, I'm a 32-year-old lady." And I was like, "Wait, what?"
31-year-old lady. Yeah. No, and I always like getting comments when people do say it. They're like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "Yeah, that's why all my memes are old. Like that's why all my references are just like old vines."
Same. That's what like Like my reference is like, I know we can be overwhelmed and we can be underwhelmed, but can we ever just be like whelmed?
Old memes.
So make sure y'all show me. Yeah, she has started Twitch. I follow. Because listen, even though like I just like watching you create characters. So I don't know. I'm a supportive person. It's the way I am. It costs nothing. It costs no money to support somebody. So like, why the fuck not? And
it's much appreciated.
What am I even doing? I'm not doing anything. I can have it on while I'm also watching a movie and do my ADHD shit where I have a movie on and you're streaming and I'm also editing a video. It's fine. So like it's fine. It works out well for me.
Once I get double monitors, I will be unstoppable.
Oh my God, please don't. Like you'll be a monster and it'll be unnecessary. So
when I move in with my boyfriend, he has 4 computers.
I feel concerned about the situation because your quality is already fantastic. And I feel like when you move in with him, you're just going to like skyrocket to this level that like, if you want to watch a movie that's going to make you fucking laugh at how ridiculous it is, watch Followed. It's a movie called Followed. And it's based on they don't say it's YouTube, but it's YouTube. And
okay.
You as a person who does YouTube and a content creator, I swear to you, you can't suspend your belief. Like you can't suspend it.
Okay.
Because when you find out like it keeps going and you're like, nobody would do this. Nobody for 50,000 subscribers, bitch, please. So like, so if you
is it a horror movie?
Yeah, it's a horror movie.
Oh, okay.
It's a horror movie, and so like I watched this and I'm like, you did all this for 50,000 subscribers? Get the fuck out. It doesn't make sense. Like there's so much that doesn't make sense. So I thought I would tell y'all. Sophie, Twitch is a gaming, like a streaming system. If I was on Twitch, I don't think I would be like streaming games. I'd probably be streaming my dumbass doing karaoke, and that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, it's a streaming platform that you can subscribe, and it's I wanted to spread. Not all. I'll have all my eggs in one YouTube basket.
Yes, and I need to put your Twitch out when we're done. I'm going to put her Twitch as well in here.
Okay.
It's actually a good time. I have fun. You created the Cullens.
I don't know. Were you there when I was playing the other day? And I completely didn't realize that I hadn't moved the camera, but I had the Wicked Whims mod on. So like I had this character sitting on the couch. The streamer mode was on, so it was all mosaic. But like I'm doing something else. like distracted reading comments, but the camera is just like close up, like side profile of my character just on the couch, just having fun with himself. And I'm like, so at one point, like I looked in the chat and Josh just comments, Abigail. So I was like, oh shit, I have to move. I shouldn't be close up just on a.
Like, he just.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's like, and he was like, at one point I was like, I just have to like stop. Like, you can take a break, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
I love what Wicked Rims brought us because the stuff I saw on Twitter, I was like, this is a good time. This is.
Yeah.
Whoever did this, congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Like, this is a good time because this is not, it looks like, but it's not. Like, that's the mood for 2020. You're just bringing this thing out and being like, it's not. I was like,
oh, yeah.
Quiet. Those are quiet buzzes. Because you need to have quiet buzzes, not like explosive buzzes.
Right. I mean, the one that I have isn't super loud.
I don't like it when they're really loud because, one, it takes me out of my weird fantasy world. And two, we're not going to talk about it. Maybe on another stream, but we're not going to talk about it. But like, the second thing is like when you're in a hotel. I just don't want like the room next to me, like hearing through the wall and be like, she is alone. And I'm like, you don't need to. I've done this in a couple setting because I just want to be finished. Like,
I'm doing my skincare with a face massager. Gosh.
Yeah. Because it's the face vibe. I have a face vibe, which I had to repeatedly be like, it is a face vibe. This is a face. This is an actual face vibe, which those are actually really good for facial oils. Oh. I wouldn't use them to like actually wash your face, in case you want to know. Don't use it to wash your face, but it's really great for like getting a serum in there and a face oil. Oh. And you're like, my skin, especially in the winter.
Facial massage, always good.
Yes. All right.
Okay.
Did you say your phone is bugging? Jesus. Okay. Yeah, the links worked. I put it up. Thank you, Faye, for doing so. I recently made Faye mad because I have so many like things coming up and I'm scared. So like I've like asked people like, what do we do? How do we like I need y'all to help me, like y'all who mod. Tell me what I need to do because of things coming up for like Vlogmas and whatnot. Oh, wait, before we go, this will be the last thing. Are you planning for the Vlogmas?
Yes, I am. And it's, I've got a lot of ideas. I haven't filmed anything yet, but I have a lot of ideas. I still have to DM some people about collabs, but I'm kind of scared sometimes, like, because at least one of the people who I'm going to message has quite a few more subscribers than I do. So I'm just like, I don't know. So that's the only thing that I'm
situation.
Nervous. Well, and I like Hannah told me, like the person that I want to ask, Hannah's like, oh, I think you'll be good. I think you'll be fine. Like, I know. And I was like, okay, I just have to do it. But everything else, like I've already got ideas. And I've been saving some ideas that I've been like saying that I was going to do. But then I didn't end up doing it because I was like, I'm going to wait for Vlogmas. But like, it's a habit of mine where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm totally going to do this. And then like, I forget that I'm going to do it. And then it just gets too late and it's not fun anymore. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm having livemas. But it's also because here's the thing, I don't know what I'm going to be doing at that point in time. Like, because I don't have a job now. So I could have a job then. And I don't like I can pre-film approximately like 3 to 5 videos, and then I can't do more than that. Like, it makes me uncomfortable because I don't know where to put them, and then and then I'll like go back and watch it and be like, it sucks. So, and I wouldn't feel like that if I just released it, but I feel like it now because a month has passed. So, I'm looking forward, I guess, to the intensity of Vlogmas, but like also not at all. I have a calendar put together that I was like
It is financially lucrative. I will say that. At first, I was like, "Wait, which Josh?" My Josh. But yeah, Vlogmas is helpful financially. I will say that I made more that month than I had ever made in any month ever.
Yeah, I could use that.
So
Also,
it's nice.
Josh, I just want to tell you that like your moniker there wreaks havoc on me every time. I'm like, H nurse.
Her nurse skirt.
Like and that's how I sound. I'm like, until I get it, and then I normal voice it. But like, wreaks havoc on me.
Nurse
my
skirts.
mind.
Again, old memes. Like, nurse skirts. Like,
I can't do it. I'm like, there's like words I can't say because it just messes with my mouth. I'm like, my mouth doesn't work like that, so it's fine. But anyway, all y'all, thank you so much, Abby. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
I'm like eternally like whoa, because like I didn't know that was going to happen, and I'm so excited. Again, y'all, please subscribe to Abby. We got to make sure like our OGs like hit that 100K by 2021 because I'm tired of this bullshit where like these assholes are like making money and they're dicks, and we need to stop paying dicks to be dicks.
Seriously. And like giving people awards for being dicks, like some.
Like I've been a total asshole. Hi everybody, fucking reward me.
I haven't made like any makeup videos, but I'm gonna be nominated for like makeup YouTuber of the year.
What? That's so weird.
I hate when that stuff happens. Like. I think it might have been last year or the year before where at one award show, it was like makeup tutorialist of the year. And it was Jaclyn Hill that won. And I was like, are you kidding me? What?
Okay. That's great, sir. All right. Hush. And on that note, y'all be safe. Remember, it costs $0 to be kind. It's good for